And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. And, of course, the good old Boston Bruins were focusing on last night. That good old Stanley Cup that they hadn't got since 1972. So it's one beautiful thing. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Ask for what you want. Find the courage to ask for what you want. Others have the right to tell you yes or no, but you always have the right to ask. Likewise, everyone has the right to ask you for what they want, and you have the right to say yes or no. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 67, NASDAQ down 7, S&P's up 2.5, gold contract up $3.40, trading at $1,529 an ounce. Silver up 12 cents at $35.53. Platinum down $21 at $1,755 an ounce. Copper flat at $4.12 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $94.94. Bonds up 23 ticks, trading at 126.06. Dollar index down 8 ticks at 75.99. Euro up 4 at 141, and you get the yen down 31, trading out at 80.65. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Up, down, and all around today. We get to a low of 1258. Close out at 1267. You're still into the March 16th bar. We did 1 billion shares out here versus the 1.4 billion. You are not out of that bar yet, but you certainly rejected the lows of yesterday, and you got into a lower low today, and you rejected that low. That's on your S&P. If we go look at the SPY, what you have inside the SPY is this. The SPY does 286 million shares. Yesterday you did 300, and you're coming into 469. The low out there of the SPY, folks, was 125.28. We went to 126.32. You rejected that level. We're at the 127.30 right now. Composite. We go to the NASDAQ Composite. NASDAQ Composite goes down to 25.99 today. The low out there is 2603. So that got into the March 16th low. Rejected it with 700 million lighter shares. That's a big number, folks. The reason it's such a big number is this. Number one, that it got into it and under it. So you had the complete test, meaning at the 2603.50 mark. If we go look at the 3 Qs rather, what you have with the 3 Qs, it did the same thing. The 3 Qs got down to $53.61 today. The low of March 16th was the 53.77. We did 55 million shares versus 176 million shares. Rejected it, and that's saying this baby wants to bounce. Now, yesterday, of course, folks, if you heard the show when we started, I started out with our man, Mr. Steve Rhodes, and what we were talking about was the full moon. We're talking about the full eclipse. Over at our website at TFNN, what you're going to see, if you want a copy of the actual lunar chart, and what we're talking about here, folks, is this. The actual copy that we have on the site right now for you is this, is that what Steve did is that just go over and get it. It's easier to explain once you have it in front of you. Because what it is, you'll see that the correlation from the RBS study, Royal Bank of Scotland, and then you'll see what Steve did with it, and you'll see what happens on a success rate since this was done since August of 2010. But bottom line, it's right under breaking news. You can get the copy of the lunar chart right there. That's the first part. Then the second part, if in fact you want to listen to the interview when Steve and I were on, and you haven't done that yet, at Tiger TV, you can go under channel number 2. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. What we are going to have coming across the tape out here, and this is going to get really interesting to see what shakes and bakes here, is that you got Research in Motion. It's going to be coming out with numbers. Now, Research in Motion, folks, has gone straight down from the $74 mark, or $70.54 to $35. So this is going to be pretty wild watching, when you get clipped that much in an equity, and it makes total sense that they're going to come out with something and this thing wants to pop. I mean, that you talk about getting cut in half. That has been getting cut in half without a stop. My take on a longer term basis is that, they're dead meat, but we'll see what happens on the shorter term basis. Apple out here today, what you had with Apple, what Apple did, Apple goes down to the swing point. The swing point that it was going after was at 320 mark. It hit 318.33. It did 18 million shares versus 21. It rejected it. So bottom line is that what you're going to see with Apple is also going to pop. Now, Apple has been building cars on the way down for quite a while. So going all the way back to January. But you can see, which I did yesterday, the day before, I went over how it is losing energy at the lows. So what that sets up is that, hey, you want to pop. The first acceleration down, which was on January 18th, what Apple had done, it went from, in one day, $344 to $326. It did that with 67 million shares traded. It goes 336 up to 364, comes barreling back down again to the 326, but this time it does it with 41 million shares. That date was March 16th. Then on April 18th, it comes down again to 320 and 21 million. Today it does 18 million. Now, the reason I'm saying it's still building cars to break out the bottoms is this, is that you have four, now we have three lower lows. We have three lower highs. That bottom line, and at all the lows, we have volume down there. So the bottom line is that the correlation is that this little baby does want to get into lower price. Let's go and take a look at some of the high volume stocks we had out here. You had Oracle was down 36. You had EMC off 44. Yahoo was down 4. We had Lowe's Corporation up 57. We had JP Morgan Chase down 32. You had Wells Fargo up 25. Cisco was up 21. Cisco is dead meat. Cisco's in trouble also. What you have with Cisco here, Cisco's been nonstop down from $22.34. We're trading right now at $15.05. That's the big trouble. We go over and take a look at a few of the banks. Citigroup, what you have with Citigroup out here, Citigroup is banging into this bottom out here. That bottom out there is the 36.76 mark. Hits 37.01 today. Does that with 59 million. It's like, okay, she's basically struggling to get into this $39 area. Bank of America, BAC, what you have with BAC, she saved herself today. She's been down from 15 into $10.40 today. She tested the lows from 2 days ago, about the same amount of volume, but she looks like she wants a small pop also. Gold, we go over to the gold contract. What we have with gold out here today is this. Flat market. The lows out there were 15.22. The high was 15.34. We closed out at 15.29. If you want to see something that's just absolutely over the top, and it is, the XAU. Now, gold's still at highs, folks, and the XAU is the Philadelphia Gold and Silver Index. The XAU is down from $230 to $189. Okay, so you're talking about a 22% downdraft. What you also have is that you're under the 194.60 area, which sets up a lot lower prices. So this is going to be wild watching this whole thing shake out. If we do go take a look at Anico Eagle, AEM, this equity's been getting hit hard. This equity's gone from $88. You're at $60 right now, which she did out here today. She got under the $60.42, and she got under it with volume. So that means she's not done on the way down also. Big numbers. Rheingold Resources. Now, Rheingold's going to get is a real interesting one, and this is why. Rheingold looks to me like it's setting up for a buy. Rheingold, was down $1.60 today. And when you take a look at Wrangle, what you have is this. We had a big downdraft the 8th of March. You came downtown with 2.4 million. Hit a price point of $71.46. You tested that with a lot lighter volume, 1.2 versus 2.4. Then you go topside from $70 to 88. Now, we're back down, and we're back down with lighter volume. But what we had today was this, and this is why you always want to basically wait until they come back to these lower levels, because it's not a buy yet, because this is what ended up happening. At $74.53, we broke that swing today, and we broke it on volume. Now, it rejected the price, and it closed still under that. And when I say by rejected the price, okay, we're still getting into lower lows. It's not ready. So what it's saying it wants to do is it wants to get into that low bar of 70.18. And we'll see if you get a rejection down there, because it's a huge amount of volume down there. It's on a weekly basis, what you have is that is set up at 4.8 million down at those lower levels. So that's going to be, you want to keep your eye on that in a big way. RIM, let's take a look at what they're saying. So RIM is halted right now, and their chief operating officer is going to take a medical leave. I'm sure he's got a headache. I'd have a big headache too, man, if I was running RIM. Research in Motion, maker of a BlackBerry smartphone, said chief operating officer is on medical leave and expected to return later this year. The company didn't disclose the reason for his departure or when he went on leave in an email today. The company also said that Larry Conley, who left as chief operating officer of product development in 2009, is currently working as an advisor to RIM, a role he has had at various times since his departure. I don't think that that's the reason they halted RIM, but we'll see what other news is out here. Let's see. Halted news shows. That's about. We'll find out soon enough what they're saying out here. We had Caterpillar was down 19 cents. You had Coca-Cola up 52. Honeywell was up 30. We had Big Mac was up 57. You had Hewlett Packard up 71. Let's go over and take a look at that dollar index. That dollar index is no doubt moving things around on a continual basis. What we had with the dollar out here today is that she had a trading range. She had a trading range out there. The highs out there was 76.50. She closed at the 75.37 level. We did 35,000 contracts. Those contracts, that's saying that she wants to back down a little. She's building cars to get to much higher prices, but the way that is set up right now, she does want to back down a little. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. And folks, over at TFNN, right on the front page, okay, under breaking news, the challenge of channels. We have our channel master, our man, Mr. Bud Rolfs. He's going to be doing a workshop Wednesday, June 29th, 6:30 to 8. Check it out. We're going to be right back.